Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Sword. We are talking the 2023 Atlanta Falcons. The season starts in just a couple of weeks. We have the final preseason game upcoming. So let's talk about ceilings and floors here. We're going to start with the good. Let's talk about the ceiling. And I think we're both excited about this team. ESPN did an article on this. I think they did a very good thing. And then Outkick, you did that, and it was just so putrid and so bad that we don't really have to get into those because I'd rather us just give our own opinions on what they think they are. But I thought ESPN's of 11-6 as a ceiling was probably about accurate. Maybe you could squeak it strictly because of schedule. Maybe if they played well enough, maybe you could get into 12-5. But I think 11-6 is a fair ceiling. I think, the 8, 9, 10 wins is where this team is going to end up. Hopefully it's closer to 10 than it is 8, but I got to be realistic. And then, but I think, this offense, if Desmond Ridder looks like he did in that first preseason game, if that's what we can expect and we can move the ball like that and the defense makes improvements, I think that they have a good formula for beating a lot of teams on this schedule. And you have to take that into fact too. Weak schedule, weak division, the NFC as a whole, weak. You play the AFC South. Like there's some rooms for wins out here.
Yeah, and in addition to the offense, which was very good last year, one of the best running offenses in football, left a lot to be desired in the pass game. You kind of have to expect that to improve, even if it's just a league average or just slightly below league average with Desmond Ridder. I mean, looking at Marcus Mariota lowlights, it's just despicable how often he missed wide open receivers. And Eagles fans are getting a taste of it just now in these two preseason games. You just have to expect the offense to improve. The left guard position should be much better with Matthew Bergeron. He looks like a bulldozing guard that's only going to make the run game that much more effective. And yeah, Bijan Robinson and Jonnu Smith, and it's got to be better. And on top of that, the best offense sometimes is a defense. So, or the best offense is sometimes a good defense. Excuse me. The defense is going to be much better, which is in turn going to help the offense. It's just going to be an all-around better team. And yeah, I think 11 wins is a very fair ceiling, and I land right about where you do. I think, 9-8 wins this NFC South, and I think that's exactly where the Falcons land and punch their tickets to the postseason. I really do think that some Falcons fans it's crazy how way pessimistic they are or way optimistic. Like I saw somebody being like the floor was 12 wins or something. I was like, you're delusional, dude. Desmond Ridder is still a third-round pick, and even if he's decent, like the rest of the team is just not there yet. They're a young team with a couple of good-placed veterans at premium positions. Other than that, yeah. I mean, Desmond Ridder isn't. But then on the other side, you got people talking about how Desmond Ridder is just terrible, and that's not true. Like always, it's somewhere in the middle, and I think that middle is 9-8 with an NFC South victory. I do respect the 11-win ceiling, though. I think that's, definitely.
There's still a lot of what-ifs with the team starting with Desmond Ridder. There's still a lot of what-ifs on the defense. Like, yeah, we're excited about the defensive line, but the edge room, the linebackers, the cornerbacks, like, listen, the reason I'm seeing improvement and why I think 9-8 is completely fair and why I think the ceiling is of a lot of these what ifs. If Desmond Ridder is better, the cornerbacks can be good. The pass rush is really good, stuff like that. If those what ifs turned out to be positives, but we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. And I think, though, when you look at it as a whole, listen, we had the worst pass game in the league last year, and we had one of the worst defenses in the league, and we still won 7 games. So we were doing something right to win football games and stay in football. Not only did we win 7 games, we were competitive in 15 out of 17. Like they were all 1-score games or something like that.
And even on top of those things that you just mentioned, Arthur Smith himself has to take step forwards. We all believe in his run game. There is no doubt about that. But there are definitely things he needs to work on as a head coach, not just an offensive coordinator. He is still the head coach. He's got to make the decision in the games. And there were several questionable decisions last year. So he has to take that next step forward as well. There's a lot of, there are a lot of what ifs on this team. But, if half of them work out, they'll be 9-8, even half of them.
Yeah. And if they all work out, that's when you reach the ceiling. That's when you're talking about the ceiling, 11, 12 wins. I think anything more than that, you're smoking a little peyote. But coming up after the break, we're going to talk about the bad side of things. We're going to talk about the Falcons' floor. What if a lot of these what-ifs don't turn out right?